I'm taking a casual stroll down a boulevard on the ongoing saga of our road to Damascus. We're actually on a road in Damascus now.
We are.
We've just been meeting with various people tonight, defining the news. The news is broke that Mr. Griffin's here. How do you see it going, Nick?
Well, I don't think the media will be able to resist covering it, but I'm not here to get, as you know, coverage nearly for the party. We're here to try and do a job, which is to help to pull together the public rejection of this monstrous proposed war by Cameron and Hague and so on, and to make the political elite realise that if they go ahead with this, they do so potentially at the cost of incredible political damage. If I'm the only seriously known politician speaking out against this monstrosity and taking risks in doing so, and I hope that we can stop them, or if they go ahead and do it, they will find that the damage they inflict upon themselves is even a lot greater, even long term, than the terrible damage they're going to inflict on poor people in Syria.
Yes. It's, well, I've got to say, I've been with you for many years, Nick, and we've been on some treacherous streets, and we've had 5,000 people trying to rip us to pieces at the freedom of speech debate and various things like that. We've had hostile gangs of Reds, and I've got to say, this one's quite uncomfortable. A little bit of comfort, I suppose. All the UN vehicles in the hotel car park there. I hadn't noticed them before. But yeah, on the streets of Damascus, we've had a open air lunch or late supper with artillery fire serenade.
Just a bit. Well, I was very pleased with that because it clearly put you off your very, very fine and beautifully grilled meat. With the result, I was able to eat it, which, having had no lunch, I thought that was absolutely splendid.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, to be brutally honest, if I go into an enriched part of any town in Britain, I feel far more concerned, nervous than I do here. This to me is fine. I'm happy in this life. There is no threat here other than just what the good Lord happens to deliver with a cruise missile which doesn't manage to hit the military target. I'd rather be here than walking around the streets of Bradford tonight. It's
true. The road to Damascus has been enlightening, in a very physical sense. But yeah, we're here to do a job of work. The media are asking already, are you on a peace mission? Because yes, we are on a peace mission.
I'm right.
Really serious stuff. Serious enough to take our very lives in our hands and be here. And yeah, you are the only elected politician in the country with the balls to be here. Hague and them can wage long-distance war.
Well, we are. One of the things, of course, we were discussing with a couple of our hosts today is challenging all the politicians, every single MP, right, before you judge, before you come and measure, come over here, come and see for yourself, come on a fact-finding mission, and then go home and say that whatever has to be done has to be done, but don't, from thousands of miles away, vote to make someone else press a button to kill people over here. Because when they say, oh, we're going to take out anti-aircraft batteries, we're going to take out tanks, there's young lads in those. Some of them are volunteers, some of them are conscripts. Every single one has got a mum, a dad, wife, kids, girlfriend. They are going to be killing those people who are only doing in their eyes what's right, standing up for their country, for their secular Syria. And they may not like some of what's gone on in the war. It's a terrible war, absolutely obviously so. But for God's sake, come and sit down and talk with people, actually see how complex this society is, before blundering into it like they blundered into Iraq and turned Iraq from a stable secular dictatorship, which wasn't very nice, into an absolute hellhole of sectarian mass murder.
Yeah.
Don't do that in Syria. It's really a lovely place.
Thank you, Nick. And we'll carry on our stroll on the street of Damascus. So, Clive Jefferson again reporting. We're in Damascus. Day 3, I think it is. We've had a heavy schedule today, Nick. The media's starting to ring in, interview you. We're just going for some media interviews now. I think it's RT's turn next, and the national TV here and a few others. Circumstances are changing fast on this international situation, Nick. Tell us about the letter from the Syrian parliamentarians.
Yep. The Syrian parliamentarians have sent a letter which actually come directly from the Speaker of the Syrian Parliament, who we've just met and had several hours discussions with, and they've sent a letter to the British parliamentarians first thing this morning, in time to get there for the debate, which I think the key thrust of it, what have they said? Don't bomb us, work with us. And from the reaction from the press, it seems to be having quite an effect. I don't know whether it'll be discussed in Parliament, but it's out there. It's lead story on Sky earlier on and so on.
And the Guardian, Telegraph picked up on it, the Mail, Sky. So that's good. Fascinating meeting with the Speaker. Obviously takes the issues very seriously. Our involvement and help, let's face it, they recognise that by being here we're drawing attention to the fact that they're not monsters, that you can talk, and I'd say very, very good meeting, intensive, made more intensive for the fact that we've been so rushed we haven't even had any breakfast, and it's now 4:30, and as people will know, that leaves me distressed, but nevertheless we've got serious work to do. It'll have to wait. We've had about 3 hours sleep in 3 days, I think, to be honest. When you dragged me out of my eventual slumber this morning, I've been, you just got to jump right back into it, really, haven't you? We haven't got time to mess about here. We're on a schedule. We've got to get in, do the work, the valuable parliamentary work that you've come to do, and get out because we've got a party to run to home. We've got a family. We've got commitments. Right. Well, we're going to leave it there.
We're back now at the next venue. Time to get out and go back to work.
All right. Thanks, Nick. Clive Jefferson reporting from Damascus. I'm sitting here with MEP Nick Griffin again, of course, and I'd rather hope that the quality of the recording equipment will pick up the call to prayer in the background and the crump of artillery. Quite an interesting setting, Nick, and yet there's children playing in the swimming pool behind us. Quite a surreal environment.
It is a bit surreal, but that artillery is a long way off, and it's only occasional, and people get used to things.
Surprisingly quickly.
Used to it very, very quickly indeed.
Yeah. So we've had a action-packed day, very busy from meeting to meeting. We're sitting down now and looking at some of the media content today. It seems like the message of common sense appears to be getting through. The letter that the Syrian parliamentarians sent to Parliament, unfortunately it appears that the Speaker of the British House didn't read it out to Parliament. What do you think about that?
I'm not particularly surprised. He says he deposited it in the House of Commons library where people can read it. But equally, I think that I'm told that it was sent out to other people anyway. And I think if any MP tried to claim I didn't see it, then they'd be laughed out of court because it's all over the newspapers and media. So if they didn't see it, they should have gone and looked. And I think it is a very, very good message. The fundamental message: don't bomb us, work with us. From my point of view, if you're looking at British taxpayers' money, either the situation in Syria has so little to do with Britain that nothing should be done, or working and talking is a damn sight better and a damn sight cheaper than cruise missiles at £1 million a throw.
And it's we're in a hotel. We're in the same hotel as the UN. it appears you're the only Western diplomat in Damascus actually talking with the Speaker of the House today, looking for, and the Syrians are very open to diplomatic solutions, but it seems nobody's genuinely talking to them.
Yeah, I think so. And then what you get is people need to bear in mind that in most countries in the Middle East, there's a colonial past, which isn't particularly happy memories, of the French in this case. And the minute a Western power comes on and starts lecturing and hectoring and using force, it evokes all those memories, people have been shut down. Whereas if instead of that, people are coming and talking, and looking and learning, as I did particularly the first time I came here, and also offering advice, as I had been. I was talking today with the speaker, for instance, about the value for clearing the air and so on of independent public inquiries. And so sometimes in Britain these things are a shocking waste of money and dominated by the PC brigade, but they are there for a purpose, and they do have a purpose. And handled right, they can be very effective as part of understanding reconciliation moving forward. He was really interested in that and saying this is another reason why we need people with the experience of decent British parliamentarians. The Syrians think there are some, I'm not so sure, but we need people like that to come and give us advice as people working in the same direction, even if we sometimes have differences, rather than fighting. And it's a very mature, stable way of looking at things. And when I contrast that with what I saw in the hotel Sky News earlier on with Cameron in the House of Commons, with a series of disgraceful lies and foolish ideas, he was contradicting himself. It's terrible. It's really very low grade, especially when you consider that the consequences to Britain are a huge waste of money, and the consequences in Syria are a potentially catastrophic loss of life.
Absolutely, Nick. And I was there, witnessed the meeting with yourself and the Speaker of the House today, and he complimented yourself on finding somebody with courage to come and with true what he classed as parliamentary values, the values of a parliamentarian. And they're not values that we see enough Hague, who's wanted to wage distant war in something he really doesn't know anything about. He just wants to send missiles, but not dignitaries, it seems. And I think if anything comes from this visit, what you're doing there with the officials in Syria is opening up a dialogue and showing to the world that the Syrians want a dialogue. And just thankfully we've got somebody like yourself, Nick, who's our parliamentarian, our representation for the Northwest, that's willing to come here and open that dialogue.
Well, it's a start, but and again, the Syrians clearly they're very open and sincere in saying, why doesn't William Hague come here himself and see? I know if
as a foreign secretary,
I think as a foreign secretary, it'd be far better to go. A foreign secretary should be going to foreign places, and where possible, trying to help them sort things out, but most of all, keeping Britain out of trouble. I think that sort of balance is what a foreign secretary should do. He's not a foreign secretary. He's a foreign secretary for the Turkey-Shoot war, and it's frankly grotesque. And if Mr. Hague is frightened of coming to Syria, he can come with me.
Thank you very much, Nick.